Yes, am I audible, Rahul?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, we can start the session then.
Yeah. Actually, I do not have access to share my screen.
Okay, host access. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Yeah, please.
Well, I'm doing it also. Yes, I think you have the access now.
Yes, I have now. Let me share my entire screen. Hey, hi everyone. Let me know if you can see my screen and I'm audible properly.
Yes, you are. Yeah. We are able to see your screen as well. I believe
Oh,
I am able to see your screen. Yeah.
okay.
We can
Thank you.
start the session then.
Yes, sure. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to the session. So the agenda of today is like we are going to understand like what is the current market of data science, how things are changing, and you'll also get chance to know about me. So my name is Rahul Tripathi. I have more than 10 plus year of experience in data science. I worked in various companies, like you can talk about any big product based company, or you can talk about any MNC companies. I also worked in big four companies also, and my experience is completely toward data science. I have seen the journey of data science, like the things changed, like how things are changing now. Because when I was new to the data science, things was very different. But now in 2025, things are completely changed. In the market, demand is also changing basically. And how I prepared this document or this PPT, it is all based on my experience. Because I also go for recruitment to the different institute, like you can consider any IIT, IIM, and now we have the different demand. Okay, so you can't come into the data science field with a minimum experience or with a minimum knowledge. That's why we are here to discuss how things are changing and how you have to adopt. So very first, you have to understand that what is a data science. So data science, you can think like a subject. Okay, nowadays you know that like if you're doing any master or a bachelor degree, so you have a lot of things like you do BSc, or you do MSc, or some people do BTech. Okay, and you observe that after 2024 we have the separate branch in the BSc. Like you can do your full 3 year of bachelor degree in AI and ML. Similarly for MSc also, like, and similarly for the BTech also. And we are calling it AI and ML. Basically, in short, AI and ML is a one branch of your data science. The way you study, like for an example, if I'll say that math, okay, so math you can think like a one entire subject, and inside the math you have the very small topic. Like you are learning some topic like the linear algebra, you are learning calculus, you are learning any stats. So all this thing you will be the subtopic of your entire it's big book actually of the math. Similarly, data science you can think like that. So data science is not new. It's like we are doing experimentation since 1957. Okay, before that also we were doing all this thing. So let's try to understand what is the data science in very simple terms. So let's go here. Let's suppose I have lot of data in my organization. Let's suppose I'm in one of the bank. Okay, in the bank we know that we have a lot of information about the customer. Okay, let's suppose primarily we have two information about the customer. One is income, other is his credit score. I hope you people all know what is a credit score. Basically, credit score, like uh, it shows that how financially you are aware, then you are paying your payment time on time or not. And let's suppose there is a one more column called status, and let's suppose you have a lot of customer, and for each of the customer you have the income, credit score, and his status, like he paid or not. You have lot of data like this, actually. So all this thing you can think like, let's suppose you have 1 crore data. uh okay, please do not annotate. Okay, anyone is doing. Okay, so you have lot of data, 1 crore data approximately. Being a data scientist, what we are going to build basically, so these are all historical data. So being a data scientist, they will ask us, okay, consume this data or use this data, build a system. This box you can think like any system basically. Okay, it could be anything. So I'm not sure, I don't know anything what will happen inside it. Just pass your data, it will learn all the pattern from your historical data, and it will come to some mathematical equation or something like that. So this is a learned model actually, which already saw your entire data. Then what will happen in future? If new customer will come, that new customer will have two information. One is income. Let's suppose it's income and some credit score. So immediately, if you pass this information to this solution or this system, it can immediately predict you that your customer will pay or not. So you can think like that. Here you are using data science to predict something, what will happen in the future based on the present data. Okay, so that is like magic. So you are going to build some solution. Okay, I'm not sure like which solution you're going to build it for now, because we all new to the data science. Okay, so that's data science now basically. And it's not about only predicting that things actually, like sales and all this thing. You can use data science in any field. You can use data science in the finance domain. You can go and you can apply data science in the retail domain. You can apply data science in your medical domain. You can go and you can apply data science in the banking domain. You named it, you can apply data science there. Like that's why we have a lot of demand here, trust me. And trust me, like if I will plot it, let's suppose on the y-axis, if you have the demand and if you have the supply, we need more data scientists, but we are very less people in this industry basically. And the reason behind it that like they don't follow proper structure. Let's suppose if I'm going for any IIT to hire people, okay, if I'll start asking like lot of questions like how data science work, how to apply model, how to build solution, they will struggle. The reason behind it like they don't learn in a proper manner. Proper manner means what? Everything need a process. Okay, you can't skip. Like for an example, there is three stages: one, two, three. Okay, so if you're learning, if you're here, you can't skip this one actually. You can if you directly try to learn this stage, what will happen? You're going to struggle a lot. That's why in the data science, I always say that follow the process, and at the end you'll see the magic. Okay, so that is very simple understanding about data science. Okay, let me clear all the annotation over what I have. Okay, just a minute. Okay, and now if you see the data science market, as I mentioning that, if you just talk about India market, okay, so approximately like you have 1.5 lakh crore of market of data science actually. And this is like projected one. And trust me, like it's not just random number. Like since I'm in 10, I'm in data science from 10 plus year of 10 plus year, I always do all this kind of analysis actually. But role is changing now. You can't go with the very basic knowledge, like you just know the basic things, and if you think that you can get the job, no. You have to be very practical. You have to be very knowledgeable person to get a good job actually. And trust me, we have lot of roles, and we have like where like especially if I talk about myself, yes, we are looking at least 100 data scientists in our organization, but we are not able to get a good data scientist. The reason behind it that like uh, they are not up to date. They do not follow the process. They do not have the proper knowledge actually. And if you think like how it is increasing, like every year this is going to be increased by 20 to 30% actually. Remember, till 2030, okay, your 80 to 90% manual work is going to be automated because of data science. And I will talk about like data science. We have a lot of domains actually which will help you to automate that task basically. If you talk about call center, if you talk about a customer service. So I hope you people heard about like something called AI agent. You can build a number of agent and that can automate your entire task. We'll talk about that one. But to understand the AI agent, yes, you have to understand the basics first. Because as I mentioned you that you can't skip it like this. If you have the stages to learn it, let's suppose here you have the agentic AI where you're going to learn about the agentic AI. You can't skip this topic. You can't skip this topic. You can't skip this topic. Why? Because if you're going to skip this topic, you can't judge how good your solution is, or how bad it is basically. So to understand all this thing, you have to follow the process. Nowadays what is happening basically, people is directly using chat gpt and other tools. That is okay, but you will be just be a tool user. No one is going to hire you in the industry. Okay, like for an example, if you talk about any chat gpt, okay, if you have chat gpt, if you give any prompt to your chat gpt, it will give you the output. But do you know what is the reasoning behind this output? How you are getting this output? I can give you very one simple example. In my experience, I was working in one of the project. Basically, it was a medical project. Okay, the project was that I developed one model. Okay, the system, I'm calling it model. Here I will pass the patient information, and this model will tell that will patient will be diabetic or not. So if I'm saying that patient will be diabetic, then I have to tell the reasoning behind it also. If I'm saying that yes, this patient is not going to be diabetic, then I have to tell the reasoning behind it also. If you just talk about chat gpt or any tools, actually, if you pass the prompt along with patient information, and if you ask that, okay, will this patient will diabetic or not, it can't tell you the exact reason why I'm calling it yes or no. That is one way of understanding it, actually. And if something goes wrong, if you're using simple chat GPT tools, or there's something called auto ML I will talk about if you're in the course. Auto ML is like automatically you can develop any machine learning solution. Okay. So if you're doing it without understanding the mathematics behind it, how it is working, trust me, like you can survive in the industry for 1 or 2 years, but after that you are going to replace by any AI agent, because I know how to build AI agent and that can easily replace you. Okay, I can develop quickly one agent and that easily can take your jobs. That's why we need someone who can understand, okay, how how your model is working internally. For that one, you have to learn maths, actually. So here, like for an example, if you really want to be a data scientist, so there is a proper path. First, you have to learn Python. Why you have to learn Python? Because you are going to deal with data. Trust me. And data will be not very small data, like it will be not 10 lakh data or 20 lakh data. It could be crore data, 10 crore data, 20 crore data. Because data is fuel for any solution. Because based on the historical data, you are going to build something. So you have to first process this data. If you can't process it, like, because for an example, if you have this data, if you try to get this data into the Excel, you can't do it because Excel has some limitation. That's why what you need Python. And in the Python also, you have a lot of specialized library which will help you do all this thing, actually. And if you want to train the, like for an example, if you have data into the Excel, if you have data into the Excel, in the Excel, what you can do, you can easily do the data analysis. What do you mean a data analysis? Basically, you can just like for example, if this column represent price, this column represents sales or something like that, you can do the very simple analysis, like what is the average sales, what is the maximum sales. This is a basic data analysis. Like this is you're doing based on the data, that's it. But if I'll ask you that, okay, can you build some predictive stuff or predictive modeling? Like for an example, if I'll give you like for an example, if I'll give you the 10% discount and this is a weekend, let's suppose, yes, this is a weekend, can you predict what will be the sales? Can you predict the sales, like how much I'm going to sell that particular product? If you're going to build this one, so this will come under the predictive modeling. Basically, it will be the one part of your machine learning where you're going to learn all the machine learning, actually. So machine learning, you can think like they are a mathematical, they are mathematical model. They are going to learn hidden pattern from your data, actually. So here you are not doing the manual analysis. It will be done by your model itself. You just need to pass the data. So for that one, you're going to learn here again, you have a lot of libraries for the machine learning, actually. And here you have a lot of algorithm, at least 10 plus algorithm are there. Okay. So here, if you see the data, it's very simple data, like it's a tabular data and all the stuff. But in the real scenario, sometimes you will not get every time you will not get the simple data like sales data, retail data, something like that. Sometimes you will get the image, let's suppose. And your task is to build a system where if you pass the image, it will predict like the given image is real or fake. Okay, so in this situation, if you're going to build this solution using the machine learning, maybe you'll not get a good result. That's why we have to switch to the other techniques, basically neural network based technique. And here your journey will start with a deep learning module. So when I'm talking about neural network, so my assumption is that people don't know anything about it. Just for your just giving the cases, like in what cases we are going to use what. So deep learning you're going to use whenever you have the complex data like image data, or it could be the, let's suppose, video data also, or you have the audio data. So based on this data, you are going to predict like the given video is fake or generated or AI generated. Similarly for the AI one, or sorry, audio one. So you are going to use your deep learning model. And how you're going to build it? Let's suppose you have 10 crore images in your database. So using those images, you are going to train your model. And that's all about the course, like where you're going to learn all this technique, like how you're going to train the model. And then once model will be trained, a solution will be placed, just pass the new image, it will automatically predict that, okay, the given image is fake or real. But for that one, you're going to learn about neural network. And to understand the neural network, trust me, you're going to learn maths. Because without maths, you're not going to understand anything about neural network. And that all come under the deep learning section. So if you have machine learning, so ML can solve the basics problem. But if you have the hard problem, like this is, you can think like unstructured data. In that case, you're going to utilize your deep learning. And here also in the deep learning, you have the two section basically. One is like vision data. If you have the vision data, vision means what? Image, you can think like a vision data because you can see it. Audio, you can think like a vision data. But sorry, video, you can see, you can think like a vision data. But if you talk about audio, this is not a vision data. Because at the end, what is audio basically? Because audio will going to convert into text, okay, because there will transcript. If you remember, like if you see any YouTube video, you can generate the transcript of that video actually. The transcript will be what? In the text one actually. So here also you have the vision data as well as text data. So for the text data, we have different technique over here, which we are going to learn it actually. So being a data scientist, if I'll come back here, so first your journey should start with a Python. And then to do all the data analysis, you're going to learn here maths basically. And this maths will also help you to understand the machine learning, and then later on, which you're going to learn something called deep learning. And this is like, if you're going to learn it, this is called phase one of your learning. Phase one means what? Now you are ready for any data scientist role. Like here, if I'll talk about, there are many roles in the data science. Something called data analyst. This is very, very junior level role. Like if you have no experience, like between 0 to 2 years of experience, they think that you know the basic Python, you know the basic math and basic machine learning. That's their assumption actually. And if you can spend some more time to understand deep learning concept, then you can get the role of data scientist one. If you have experience between 2 to 3 years. Assumption is that like you can easily build the model, you can easily do all this stuff actually. If you have experience more than 3 years of experience, you can get the job of data scientist too. And here assumption is that like you know everything till deep learning actually. If you see, if I'll create one more slide over here, let me create it. If you see that how things are changed actually in 2022, if you remember, ChatGPT came into the market. Basically, ChatGPT is an interface. Okay, internally there is a GPT's model. Lot of GPT model is there. 2022 is not the year when they invented this thing actually. The journey started 2017 actually, when Google launched one paper. On top of that, they trained their model, and 2018 was the year when they launched their first GPT-1 model. But no one was aware because this model was only available for the developer or data scientists who can take this model and fine tune or whatever it can do. First time they changed their landscape and launch their chat GPT via UI, so that you can pass the prompt and you can see the real time actually. From here, time has been changed, because till now, whatever you studied, like you studied like Python, machine learning, deep learning, on top of that one, now you got new one more things called. Basically this era, like from 2022 to till 2025, I can call it modern AI. Okay, so here like you have different roles also now in the modern AI. Some role is known as the GenAI developer. The assumption of GenAI developer is that you all know that deep machine learning, you should know machine learning, you should know much deep learning. Also, you are going to know all the modern AI actually. And nowadays, these are very in the demand actually, trust me. Just go and search over the internet, or you can do search by yourself also, and you know how to do it. Just go to Chat GPT and just hit this topic, GenAI job market, and click on deep research. It will do everything on behalf of you, and you'll get the how market has been changed for GenAI actually. Here demand is that you should also know machine learning, you should also know the deep learning, and you should also know the modern AI. Modern AI means what? You should know how to build agents actually. Agents, like I can give you a very simple example over here. Let's suppose you want to develop one website. So what we need in the website, basically we need one front end, one UI, user interface, and we need backend actually. In ideal scenario, what we need developer over here who will write the code actually. Here also we need a developer who will write the code actually. So we can replace this developer with any GPT's model actually. We can replace this with any GPT model actually. So what model will do, it will write the code and it will execute it by himself. We don't require anyone over here. So if you have that capability, then you'll learn that how GenAI and everything is working. And that's why I'm saying that in the market things are changed. Yes, we need traditional data scientist. Traditional means what? Who know machine learning, deep learning, all the stuff. Along with now, if you have the new role, GenAI developer, something called agent. You can build the agentic AI solution. You can build GenAI solution also. So currently, I'm not going in depth on all this thing. But if you really want to know anything about it, we can discuss today itself. Okay, so that's the market, and that's all about the market, like market, how market is changing actually. Along with that, now we have a lot of roles for something called MLOps engineer. Who is the MLOps engineer? MLOps engineer, like let's suppose if you're building any solution, we need someone who can deploy your solution in the production. That is very, very important. And trust me, like if I will take 100 interview, I can only get 1 or 2 candidate who know MLOps very well. MLOps is a guy who know basic machine learning, basic deep learning, or basic your AI, modern AI. Along with that, he also know the basic DevOps skills. So using that one, he is going to deploy your solution in the production. What do you mean a production here? Production is like it will be in the Azure, it will be in the Amazon, AWS, or it could be GCP actually. So nowadays, if you're learning all this thing, do one certification in Azure or AWS or GCP. That is very, very, very needed nowadays, because there you're going to learn how you can capture, how you can deploy all those solution in the production. Okay, now you can learn all this thing by yourself also, but this is, you are not going to get the real experience, because let's suppose if you are learning from someone who is just a trainer. Trainer means what? He just know all the tutorial stuff and everything. But I'm working somewhere. Okay, if you're working somewhere, you know the real challenges, what is happening, what is not happening, because whatever you are learning or whatever reading as a theory, sometimes that is not going to work in the real scenarios. So there you need experience, the people who can help you to understand that okay, this is not going to work like that. That's the reason that you have to learn all this thing. Okay, so before we go, let me show me here like what actually data science cover. Like in the data science, we really need 3 things actually, trust me. And here computer science is optional. Business domain, like for an example, if I'm building solution for retail domain, if I'm building solution for finance domain, so I should have some experience or some knowledge about that business, how that business operate, how that business work, so that I can easily build the solution. Otherwise it's very difficult. Okay, other is like we should know the basic programming, Python, SQL. Okay, and cloud computing and big data processing is optional for now, but later on whenever you will get more experience, I will suggest learn some technique like PySpark. That is a dedicated library in Python. Okay, we'll talk about that one in the actual course. And yes, one of the most important topic is math and stats. Learn something called probability. Don't require to learn very in depth. Till 10th class maths is more than enough here. Okay, and that is the things. And now in 2025 things are changed, as I mentioned you that traditional predictive AI is now changing to the generative AI, where you're going to generate something. So here you're going to learn like how you are going to build a solution, something called a RAG pipeline, uh, how you're going to build a small language model, how you're going to build agents actually. So you're going to learn all this thing. So, and everything is important. And if you talk about the market, so this data is based on tier 2. This is like based on the India cities. I'm not comparing the global level. So if you see that product AI specialist who are going to manage entire AI product, and you can see the salary up there. If you just talk about senior data scientist like a person who have experience more than 3 or 4 years of experience. Okay, I can call him senior data scientist. If you talk about mid level, like someone 2 to 3 years of experience, I can give 20 LPA. And if you are entry level, you can get 10 LPA. Nowadays, like some people are getting 15 LPA also. Okay, and if you are in the service based, yes, the salary will be less as compared to the whatever I'm talking about here. And to clear all the interview, trust me, like you have to work hard. There is no there is no replacement of that things. Okay, so as I mentioned that everywhere we required data scientist or AI scientist or GenAI developer. So you can apply, you can search, and you can get everywhere job actually. But it depends. Salary will be changed based on your, like if you're going with the product startup, or you're going to the MNC, or you're going to the service giant sector like this as Infosys. So here they hire in bulk, but salary will be not that much great. It will be moderate pay. Okay, so that is all about it. So there will be many roles actually. Now you have to decide, like for an example, there will be data analyst role, there will be data scientist role, and there will be ML engineer roles. Data scientist, like what happened, like it will take your data and who will analyze the data, and he know only 3 to 4 skills like Excel, SQL, Power BI, and simple math. That's it. And data scientists who know everything: Python, stats, machine learning, deep learning, and modern AI also. And we need ML who will take your solution, who will deploy in the production. Okay, here you should know some cloud. Like cloud means here AWS you can learn Azure, or you can learn any other cloud provider, and you need some to learn something called Docker. uh, like I know that for now Docker seems very strange terms, but yes, if you search about it over the internet, you will get the idea that what is a Docker. So using the Docker, we are going to Dockerize our solution. That's basically it's like to maintain the version so that your application can work anywhere. That's why we do all the Dockerization and stuff actually, and all come under MLOps skills. And this ML engineer, don't think that here you just need to now know the ML knowledge. You should also know the GenAI knowledge, because nowadays you are going to deploy your solution in the production. So you have to maintain all this thing. Like the solution could be anything. It could be modern AI based solution, or it could be the traditional data science one actually. So that is all about it. And if you really want to be mastering into this field, you have to definitely learn. This is a must have skills. Okay, you can't skip with this if you really want to entry level job. Learn Python, SQL, stats, and linear algebra, machine learning, and deep learning. I forget to mention over here. And you learn one cloud. That's it. And here, like you should also understand the business understanding. Okay, and then if you are good in telling the story based on the data, that is very very important. Like I can give you a very simple example how why it is important actually. uh, I was working in one of the organization. If you know the Amazon, okay, on the Amazon we have the button when you buy any product, something called buy now. Okay, so buy now was a button. Earlier, like the buy now background, here the background color was blue actually. One of my friend recommended that if you change this blue color to orange color, uh, by now he recommended that if you change the background from blue to orange, your sales will increase by 2 to 5%. That was his claim actually. And how he was claiming? By doing the analysis. And how he was doing the analysis, let's suppose there are 10,000 customer, active customer for your Amazon.com. So whenever customer will hit, you will show the pages actually. So what he did actually, out of 10,000 customer, what tried actually, out of 10,000 customer, he routed 8,000 customer with blue color background, and 2,000 customer with orange one. And he saw one pattern, because he was collecting this data somewhere in the Excel or database, wherever you think he was collecting all those data actually. And then he observed that he repeated this step again. He repeated this step again and again. That means what? Again, randomly split the data into two parts: 8,000 showing blue, 2,000 for orange. And here he saw that sales is not that much great as compared to here. Then based on this data analysis, he created one story, and that story presented to the upper management. Trust me, like they like this approach, and they finally they agreed to change the color from blue to orange. Now you can understand that what is the use of any data analysis, and how data analyst contributing in the project actually. And you can see, like at the end, how they are going to promote you by looking like how much you are contributing in terms of money also. So that is the beauty of data science. Like you're directly dealing with the business. That's why this all skills is very much important. Okay. So I know enough theory, enough here and there, but I just want to know about yourself. If you have any question, ask. I'm ready to reply here. Anything you can ask. free to ask anything. There is no foundation. No question?
Sir, considering that I'm a fresher, I
Uh-huh.
have no prior experience, and I just did a data analyst course with CoachX itself,
Uh-huh.
and I'm planning to go for data science basically. Is it
Uh-huh.
something that being a fresher after completing the course, will I get, what is the probability of getting the job basically? How will it work out for me?
Yes, yes. Good questions. So it depend on you as well as me. Okay. So I have to provide the content, everything. And being a data scientist, if you really want to get a job in the industry, you can't stick with a very simple project. Okay. Like whatever you have on the Kaggle and all this thing. You need real project, real industry based project actually. So that is very high chance that you will get the data science. You will not get data scientist role. Trust me. You'll get the data analyst role. And then from here, like as I mentioned that here, since you have 0 to 2 year of experience, okay, you can't get a data scientist role directly until unless you are not going to perform expressly in the interviews. So very first, there is a higher chance that 90% chance that you will get the data analyst role. And then here, if you perform very well, they will promote you data scientist one. And then let's suppose now you have 2 to 4 year of experience, they will promote you data scientist too. So easily you can follow this path. So target for data analyst role. And when I say data analyst role, make sure that in the JD they should mention that you should know Python, you should know basic math, basic data analysis skills, like if you learn Power BI or Tableau, and then basic machine learning. This skills is needed over here. Yes, once you're done, like let's suppose if you're following me everything, and you're doing every project with me, then at the end there is a 90% probability that you can easily get a data analyst role. And to get the data scientist to direct this role, if you have any prior experience, not specific to data science, if you have any other like any IT experience, trust me, you can get this one also. Because here we are not giving data scientist one role just because of your knowledge. Because at the end you are going to present this solution to your stakeholder, okay? Because you're building this solution for someone, okay? So you should have very good storytelling skills, and that you will get if you have experience, if you're going to get some experience into it. That is the reason that we never offer data scientist one role directly. We wait for 1 or 2 years. Once you will be very confident for that things, like you have the domain knowledge, you know how to present your solution, then we promote people to data scientist one. That's why I'm saying that if you have any prior experience, it could be from any background, like in from IT domain also. If you have like Java, if you have worked as Java developer or any other developer, you can easily get data scientist one. But after completing the course, your target should be to get a data analyst role, and there is a 90% chance that you can easily get it. Hope you understood.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir.
Great. Any other one? Please ask if you have any questions.
Sir, just so according to the market, actually, there are a lot of rumors like AI will be replacing data science jobs. Can you please, elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, great questions. Yes, definitely. That's not only rumor, that is happening actually. Okay, like trust me, like for an example, if you have the repeated task, okay, repeated task, like let's suppose you have the data, and based on this data, you are going to create 5 information, like what is the average sales, okay, what is the maximum sales, and maybe like reason wise sales. So earlier, what was happening? Someone was writing the Python script, okay, and then he was executing the same script again and again every day, and he was generating this report and sending to the manager. That's it. That was his job actually. But now that this is completely replaced. So yes, modern AI is replacing most of the repetitive task, but it can't replace complete data scientist. You still need data scientist who is going to validate how your solution is working, how like it is going to help you, like whatever AI solution you have or whatever AI tools you have, that is going to help you to build a solution very faster. Because earlier, to build one solution, we were taking, let's suppose, 1 month, but the same solution can be developed in 15 days also. Because in the data scientist journey, we have different approaches. Like we have something called feature engineering. So here feature engineering, like creating new features. So here AI is helping us. Or maybe if I want to write code very fastly, so AI is helping here. So we have a lot of agents here, something called Copilot. That's why I'm saying that you can't only rely on the simple predictive data scientist. You are also going to learn GenAI. So you can't skip the GenAI, because here if you're going to learn GenAI, you're going to build all the agentic AI tool. Based using that, you can replace most of the repeatable task. Actually, the task which is going to repeat again and again, you can easily replace it with the agentic AI solution. And trust me, like I'm seeing the change. Okay, and that is very much true. This is going to replace the data science most of the task, but this is not going to reduce the job. Actually, it is going to replace those people who do not have any understanding about the data science. Still, we need data scientists. This is going to save your time. That's it. And there is a one condition also: you can't learn GenAI directly without learning the data science. Because tomorrow, if someone will ask you to train your own model means what? Let's suppose if you are working in the bank will never allow you to use GenAI directly. They will say that take this model and on top of that train your own models actually. So for that one, still you need data science skills. Not only bank, anywhere where data privacy is one of the important stuff. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone?
Yes, it's just a generic question. How would a graph for a fresher, like a software engineer with this certification of data science, would look like? 2 years, 5 years, 10 years?
Okay.
The career graph.
If you can come up again your questions. So actually I missed your point because of my background noise.
Yeah, so I'm a fresher. I'm going to be a software engineer next year,
Uh-huh.
and I'm pursuing this program. After pursuing this program, how would
Uh-huh.
like how would my career graph would look like
Yeah, good
5 years
question.
down the line?
Good question. Good questions. Got it. Let's suppose here I'm going to plot it. So let's suppose here you can think like a salary, and you can think like experience. Okay, 1 2 3 and 4, and this is like I can easily tell you, like in the most of the software engineering, here we have very less roles actually nowadays. Because like for an example, if we talk about any UI developer, okay, let's suppose you are going to learn software engineering, and especially you are going to be a front end engineer. Okay, so to build the UI, we have a lot of agents actually. You can search over the Google something called cursor.ai. Okay, you can talk about Git Copilot, you can talk about Codex. What they do basically, just give the one prompt, like generate front end into it, it will immediately develop for you actually, immediately. So here, like nowadays, so we are not going to hire UI developer, trust me, because no one is looking for the UI developer. Let's suppose earlier, before 2022, if we had the demand, let's suppose in one of the organization, if I need 100 UI developer, nowadays it has been reduced to 20 actually. So there is a 80% reduction. Okay, so that means what we need over here, we need someone who can build this agent. We need someone who can build this solution. We need some who can build this solution actually. So if you have very fresher, that means what, there is very less role will be for UI developer, for the fresher one actually, if you have 0 to 1 year of experience. Because this zero experience we don't require at all, because that can be easily done by your any AI solution. But still we need a good AI developer or data scientist over here. Because if you have less experience also, 0 year experience also, he can at least build the solution because he already learned from the course. So let's suppose if as a fresher data scientist or AI scientist will start from here, for UI developer it is very difficult to start first of all. But he will start in the from here actually. Let's suppose this is like salary, let's suppose 5 LPA, and I'm giving very high number. Yeah, this number is based on standard MNCs. And this person will start minimum 10 LPA, trust me. And here, this is UI developer. Let's suppose if you're going for the backend developer. Okay, backend developer means like you're going to build APIs and all this thing, where also we have a lot of tools, but we still need a fresher, because here sometime we need to validate the APIs, we need to start it. So that UI of a backend developer will start their career in between here, approximately 6 to 7 LPA actually. And like if your experience will grow, so your AI experience will also always go in exponential actually. You can it's not like I'm just faking over here. You can go and search over the any website, and this backend developer over the period of time it's going to be reduced actually. The reason is that after a certain time, this is all the job is going to be replaced by any AI agents. And if you following any NVIDIA podcast on all this thing, they always say that AI agents is the future. We are going to replace most of the time with the AI agents. Initially, you will grow, but after a certain time, it's going to be declined. And UI developer, trust me, like this is going to be end so after certain years, because we don't require UI developer. Yes, there will be one role, something called DevOps role, that is going to be increased. Trust me. Like instead of like if you're not selecting AI, let's suppose you're not doing this course, and then you're not selecting this backend and UI developer. And if you're going with the DevOps engineer, maybe you'll start from here, but this is also going to be increased in exponential, because we need someone who can deploy the solution, who understand all the nitty-gritty of CI/CD pipeline, how to write CI/CD pipeline, all this thing actually. So AI agents will be going to an exponential one. Similarly, for DevOps role also going to be the exponential one. But if you're selecting this field like software engineering or something like that, this is going to be dropped after certain period. And this is like based on my experience. Okay, if you just stay in the market till 2027, you will see a lot of changes in the market, because way of working is going to change. It's very difficult to survive in the software engineering field. Similarly, for an example, in software engineering, we have QA developer roles, we have tester role. This is already we replaced actually. In my organization, I developed a lot of tool for QA, which can do the job of QA. QA stand for quality automation. Okay, who do the all the automation testing, that we don't require. Earlier we need at least in one project 10 QA developer. Now we only need 2 QA developer. So job has been reduced actually. So getting a job into this field will be very difficult. And then once you get the job, every day you'll get new AI agents. So it is like day by day it will be very difficult to survive. Now it's your calls, and at the end it's matter. Just don't see the market. If you really love something, like if I'll tell my story, I was working as a Java developer in 2018. Okay, but my interest area was machine learning and deep learning. It's not because of salary. It's because of I really love to solve the problem using math. Then what I did my master's from IIT Hyderabad, and then everything has been changed. So if you're really passionate about some domain, some uh, technology, trust me, you can easily survive it. But there will definitely competition. So if you can bear those competition, you can go for software engineering, you can go for DevOps engineering. But as per now, as per if I'll just talk about number, AI salary will increase exponentially over the years actually. If you have 5 year experience, you can easily get 30 LPA. And it's not just number. Okay, you can go and you can talk to anyone over the LinkedIn. You can talk to you can Fizzbowl is one of the website. You can go and you can search there also. You will get the salary and everything. How software engineering getting, how other people are getting, AI scientists is getting in the market.
Right.
Great. Okay. Any other questions to anyone?
So sir, I was actually checking for lot of information on Google and YouTube,
Uh-huh.
especially regarding, as you said, machine learning and deep learning basically. But the more I see, the more knowledge I get, and the more I get confused basically. So how to basically deal with it, like how to
Your
approach
voice
the
is
learning for this.
your voice is very slow. If you can come again.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, the more I search about machine learning and deep learning,
Uh-huh.
there is a lot of information on Google and YouTube right now, and it's just very confusing to me.
Uh-huh.
So how should we approach for? If we want to go for the data scientist,
Yeah, great. That's why you are going to enroll in this course. With that, like you have a lot of things over the internet. Like I can take very simple example. When you were in class 10th or in class 12th, there was a proper subjects. Okay, you were following those subject, you are learning it, and everything is dependent on the previous class actually. So if you really want to be good in class 10th, you have to learn class 9 topics actually. Similarly, if you really want to learn machine learning, okay, you'll get lot of courses over the YouTube. You'll get lot of courses from the Udemy. You'll get n number of places where you can get it actually. The reason behind, like if you go with this approach, this is like very confusing stage, because you don't know like from where machine learning started actually. Like for an example, when you're in class, like when you started your education, when you're class 1 or 2, you started learning numbers, and then after that you start learning like how to add two numbers. Similarly, here also we have the basics of machine learning, which is not going to cover by any Udemy or any YouTube tutorials actually. That's why you have to follow proper approach, follow a proper path. Like you have to learn Python. Here also, like Python can be used for n number of tasks. So for data science also, you have to very strict yourself that I have to learn only this module for the for the data science, because Python can be used for the web development also. So you are not going to learn all this thing. You're going to learn only those things which is required for the data science. After completing the Python, you're going to learn math. After learning math and Python, you start building at least 5 to 10 projects where you're going to build simple analysis tool which will utilize the math and Python, and you can solve the real industry problems. If you have these two knowledge, then you can move your journey toward machine learning. And in the machine learning also, we have the variety of problems over here. And this machine learning you can't learn or you can't understand without maths, trust me. So it should be your next path. And here you are going to explore everything, machine learning and everything. Here, like at least spend 1 month, at least 1 month, like 2 hours daily, basically. At least 50 hours you have to spend over here by yourself, and do at least 10 to 15 projects, small project. When I say 10 to 15, that means what? Small case studies actually. Then you will get real experience over here. And then after that, move toward deep learning section. Follow the same approach over here. At least spend 1 or 2 months. That means what? At least 100 hours here. It's by yourself, if you're going by yourself, because you have to understand everything, because the deep learning you can't understand without machine learning. Because here you learn everything, how to build model, how to train the model, how to optimize the model, what technique need to be used, everything like that. And then your journey will start here. Like here you can there will be two path. Okay, one path will be like, if you have the text data, then using this text data you can also build lot of solution. So you are going to enter in the GPT's era, where you're going to learn all the GPT's model. And here you have the computer vision actually, where you will deal with all the image data, audio data actually. And this will be your path. So this is like approximately, like for an example, here you have to spend at least 2 to 3 weeks. Here you have to spend at least 1 or 2 weeks. Here at least comes minimum 4 weeks. Here 8 weeks. And then if you follow this approach, trust me, like at the end you are going to be a great data scientist. And trust me, at every end of the course or every end of every module, you are going to do at least 5 to 10 projects. Without that, you can't do it. And that's why you need someone who already did all this thing, so who can save your time. Okay, here, like spending this much time, because if you're going to learn by yourself, you'll get the idea like how this is working. But when you will be in the real project, you are going to struggle. The reason behind it, like because in the real scenarios there will be real data. Okay, because if you're in the training institute or if you're learning, you will get the dummy data. So on dummy data, you'll always get the ideal case, but you will not get the worst case. And when we are working in the industry, we always get the worst case. Like you'll get always worst data. So how to deal with those data? It's very challenging. Then that is very important. So this path you should follow to be a good data scientist. Okay. Any other questions to anyone? I'm not able to see chat. Let me read the chat. Anyone, if anyone have any question, please let me know.
As a fresher, how soon can we get into this field, or will we get a data scientist position, or would we be starting at some other position and getting into data scientist role?
Very first, like if you're absolutely fresher, you'll start with the data analyst role. You will go with the data analyst first. and it will take approximately 3 to 4 months. If you are spending 20 hours per week, then yes,
Right.
you can easily get a data analyst role, and then you can move like that. Then work as a data analyst for 1 or 2 years, then you'll get the promoted in the same company for data scientist. Work at least 1 or 2 years in the same company, then you can switch to another company, and then your journey will start like that.
Sir, the way you told previously that we'll need help with these kind of things like projects on machine learning and deep learning basically. So how would CoachX support us or help us into achieving that? If you can reflect on that.
Your voice is little bit slow for me. If you
Yeah.
can just
So,
increase.
yes, yes. So I was saying that as you said, we will need help with machine learning and deep learning projects, right? Because when we are working on the live project, it gets difficult. So how will CoachX help us with that, basically? If you can give a bit clarity on that.
Yeah, sure. So like we have a lot of industry project. Okay, since here the all the trainer is from the working professional, they are not a full-time trainer basically. So we create the data which is exactly similar to the industry. Like for an example, if you talk about retail domain, finance domain, or any other domain. Okay, so here like when if you talk about CoachX, so here we are going to give you the real data, and then you're going to work on the real data. Then you'll really you feel the complexity of the when let's suppose you're building something, then you'll feel the complexity, like how difficult it is when you are solving some real problem in your organization basically. So where CoachX will help you to provide you the real data, and then people like us who have the experience, who is working professional, will help you to build those solution with the proper guideline. Like for an example, there is a proper rule, there is a proper way to implementing of any project. Like you can go with agile approach, you can go with the DevOps approach. So all these things you're going to follow here. Maybe Shubham is here, he can help you with more, because as per my, I can only help you with the projects, and that I can give you guarantee that that project will be real project. You will not get that project over anywhere on the internet. You will only get that project when you will get the job. Before that, you can't get anywhere.
So you said there is going to be a lot of demand into data scientist roles and not in development role. I got that. It is the future. It has a really good future. So can my friends who is coming from non-technical background,
Uh-huh.
can they pursue this?
Definitely, yes, yes. The like I will be very honest. He should give more time into it. Then, like for an example, let's suppose if you're coming from the technical background, so if you're spending 3 months, then he should spend at least 4 or 5 months, because he need some extra attention to understand the concept, because he's coming from the completely non-tech background. So that's why I'm saying that he should um, at least spend 1 or 2 months more than you.
Right, right.
Anyone, any other question?
I have a question. Can you tell me what concepts will be covered in NLP?
Yeah, okay. So NLP, let me talk about it. So NLP, like we are going to cover from RNN till LSTM. Okay, let me write it on my blackboard. Just a minute. So if you are already have experience in NLP, so I can talk about it. So in NLP, you are going to learn from the basic, like you are going to learn something RNN. So how a recurrent neural network will solve many problems, but there is some issue with RNN. That's why you're going to learn something called GRU, and GRU will also have some issue. Then you're going to learn something called LSTM. So this will be very basic things. Okay. And after that, you are going to learn something called transformer architecture. And on top of the transformer architecture, you are going to build many model. Like you have the bird, you have called distill bird. Okay, so this is like pre-trained model. On top of that, you are going to learn fine tuning of this one also. Okay, so this will be very things, because and this is very very important nowadays. If you're already familiar with machine learning or me, so in that case you're going to bird distill bird, and then how you are going to fine tune it. fine tuning of this all these models actually. And
Right.
then yeah, if you have if you have any other demand, like for an example, this is a very famous technique for any NLP task. Okay, and if you have any specific problem statement also, that we can also solve it for you, because here from here you're going to learn all the GPT's model. After that, all the pre-trained model, foundation model will start over here, and then quickly you will directly move to the GenAI section, where you're going to consume all the GPT's pre-trained model here to build GenAI application. So this will be the one high level overview which we're going to cover in the NLP section.
All right. And all of this will be covered from basics, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm writing RNN. So basically, before the RNN, you're going to learn all the basic technique, like how to compute. Like basically, if you have the text, you have to convert this text into numbers. So you are going to learn TF, IDF. You're going to learn IDF, TF, all the technique like what to wake, embedding model, all things you're going to learn. So I'm just giving you a high level overview in terms of just modeling. What
Right.
model we are going to learn over here? Yes, definitely you'll learn everything from the scratch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, anybody coming from 2 to 3 years of software industry related
Yes.
qualification or work experience like testing or UI UX developer, like you took the example of,
Yes.
would they be able to transition into a data scientist roles after 2 to 3 years of their IT experience?
Yes. Easily. The reason behind it, that like if you're coming from the, let's suppose, from the IT industry, okay, and when I say IT, maybe you maybe you're a software engineer, you are you could be your test engineer. You can easily target GenAI developer. This is easy to pick, trust me. And then quickly, like for an example, if you're working here, spend at least 1 month or 2 months to learn GenAI skills, and then once you get the job in GenAI domain, and then parallelly start learning all the data science skills like AI and ML. You can easily transit your career, and I help many people to transit, because GenAI is very easy. GenAI is kind of, you have already model, okay, and then you have to wrap your model with your code and use it. That's it. Real challenge will come when people will ask you to build your own model. So to how to build this model, this inside box, if someone asks to build it, then yes, you have to learn all this ML technique. I was talking about all the RNN, LSTM, all this thing. Then you have to learn all this thing. So if you really want to switch quickly in 2 to 3 months, you can easily come to the GenAI developer and parallelly start learning all this thing. That will be easiest path.
Right.
Anyone, any other doubt or any things which you want to discuss?
In terms of predictive analysis, sir, many of my colleagues have always been fascinated with the predictive analysis
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
and
uh-huh,
the time series model where we can predict the behavioral pattern of any data.
uh-huh.
Will it be applicable in financial fields or trading or
Yes, yes,
anything?
yes.
That,
That is
yes,
going to be like, that is always be there. Okay, that's you are going to learn in the ML. I was saying that there is a many things in the ML where you do
right,
the predictive modeling. It could be the classification, it could be regression problem, or it could be time series model. There will be many things actually. That I'm saying it. And everything will be applicable nowadays also. The only benefit now we are getting here, after coming all the AI tools actually, we spend less time in doing writing the code, doing analysis, all this thing, because we have tools actually. I can give you one of my experience. I was working in one of the India big fintech company. In that company, my job was what was that, like let's suppose you have the customer, okay. For the customer, we know the we know his pen card number, okay. Using the pen card number and other information, we are going to hit the bureau data, and we are going to get the bureau data. On top of the bureau data, we are going to create lot of features like how many loan he have, how many housing loan he have, how many all this thing actually. So to build this data mart, actually I can call it, I was writing the code, and that code was Python, and in the Python we are using pandas. That's it. And at that time we just had documentation like Python pandas documentation. Then writing the code was taking me it took me approximately 3 to 4 weeks. because there is a lot of things to write it. So every time whenever I struggle to write the code, I have to go to the internet, search it, write it, search it, write it. It was very time consuming. But nowadays, same task can be done in 1 day. Why? Because I'm not going to read the documentation anymore. I have the AI tools. It can easily help me to write the code very faster. So yes, everything is applicable, just way of working will change. Like if you're going with the time series modeling, yes, every concept will be same, everything will be same. Only like when you are in the implementation phase, your AI tools will help you to do things very faster.
Right. Just so you mean to say every industry is going to need data scientists and data analysts.
Definitely, yes, correct.
Upon you, where you apply yourself and where your interest lies, you can have multiple opportunities in various
Yes.
domain fields, right?
Yes, correct.
Right.
And the good part is like if you really want to be a great scientist, apply for those company who selling their product to the customer. Okay, like you can go with the Swiggy, you can go with the Zomato, or you can go with the any Indian company like Bajaj Finance or Aditya Birla, because they have their own product. Okay, then you will get, because that means what they have. If they have own product, that means what they have their own data also. If they have the data, you can do anything with this data. You can build a lot of solution. And if you're going to the any MNC, okay, like if you're going to TCS, Infosys, because they have the clients actually. So maybe some client is from retail, some finance, some other actually. So being a data scientist, you will apply your core skills, whatever you have learned from this course. And then if the project is for the finance, you have to learn finance by yourself. If the project is about the retail domain, you have to learn by yourself actually. So here you have to switch, like for example, let's suppose 5 month project for the finance, then 3 month for this one, something like that. So you are switching over the period of time actually. And if you're going for the company which are selling their own product, so you have to stick with their own product. And then let's suppose if you're spending after here 2 to 3 years, you are going to be a good data scientist. The reason behind it is that you have already your core skills. Along with that, you have the strong experience in one single domain. And this domain, if you write it on a resume, trust me, like will be in very demand in the market.
Right. Right.
Are the projects going to be end-to-end projects?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. In domain, yes, everything will be there. Like for example, for the model building, and then you are going to learn how to wrap this model into the fast API. So basically, using the fast API, we are going to wrap everything. So we will create our backend using the fast API, and then we are going to build our UI. So UI, like for an example, if you have little experience, you can go with the React.js. So that since I am a full stack data scientist who know all these things, so I can develop using React.js, and I can help you here also how AI can help you to build UI tools. And then we're going to wrap everything, UI and the backend. So you will get into an application where everything will work like that. Okay. So basically all these skills come under ML ops. Here also you are going to learn like how you're going to create a Git repository. On the Git repository, you are going to learn all the basic skills like CI/CD pipeline, how to create it. Because tomorrow, if you're going to build new version of your model, so that new version of model should be uh, available for the consumption. So that you are going to write in the CI/CD pipeline using the Git action. If you know what is a Git action, so everything will be end to end actually, from building till deployment. Hope you got the answer.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Since you're such a seasoned professional, I just wanted to know how would be the work-life balance be as a data scientist after 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, it will be great, trust me. Because if your interest area is solving the problem, it will be your work-life balance will be very balanced actually. You can't say that there will be a lot of work, something. No, that is not going to happen. Because here you are solving the problem. Okay. And if you're solving the problem, like for an example, if I can compare this thing like this, okay, like for an example, in software engineering roles, how we solve any problem. Basically, there is a predefined task. Predefined task means what? They will say that build some API. Let's suppose I want to build some login API. Okay, that means what? I'm going to write the code for it, lot of things, and then I'm going to test it. And to develop this API, they will give me some timeline, like this need to develop in 1 or 2 days. Okay, so here like you're not using your brain, trust me. Because why you're not using brain? Because you're just writing the code. Code is like, for writing this code also, they have given the requirement, like how this code behaves. But if we talk about data scientist, they have the data, they just have the end objective, what they want to achieve. Like for an example, they want to build solution where if I'll pass the customer information, that should predict like will customer will pay or not, let's suppose. So here you are going to spend your time on building the solution, and there is no fixed path, like do this first and do this first and then this. No, there is no fixed path. You can try your approach also, and you will get a lot of time over here. Let's suppose to build a solution, you'll get at least 1 month, minimum 1 month. And like you can, if like, see, you can't be in the phase of solving problem 24 hours, because out of 24 hours you only spend 2 to 3 hours to think like how I'm going to solve this problem. So work life balance will be very cool here in data science after 5 years, because as you gain more experience, you will be in the role of principal data scientist in the organization. Principal data scientist who is not going to build any solution, trust me, who will just manage all the models. Like for example, there is like for example, let me give you the hierarchy. There is a principal data scientist. Under him, there will be many data scientists. Let's suppose data scientist 3. Data scientist 3. There will be one more data scientist. Now here your role will be whatever model they are building, you are going to present it somewhere to the stakeholder. And you can only present this solution to a stakeholder if you know the data science, otherwise you can't present it actually. So your life will be very easy because you are not going to build the model. Then basically principal data scientist, you can think like he's a good teacher, trust me. You know what, who is teacher is not going to appear for the exam. Okay, he just take the questions and answer from you, and he is just going to write on the board. So this board will read by your stakeholder. You can understand that what you have developed actually. So your life will be very easy here. Your life will be difficult in the initial stage, like between 2 to 5 years, because here you will get a lot of challenges. You have to do a lot of experimentation, and once you will be in the phase where you are in the principal data scientist, but you can't be principal data scientist in just 5 years. You have to spend at least 8 to 10 years. And work life balance also depend on your organization. Okay, I can't say that, because as per at least for me, I have certain things which where I can say that I have proper balance. I can balance my work and life also, and this depend on your organization. Like I have bad experiences also. If you work for any Indian company, definitely you'll get the bad experience, trust me.
That was really insightful, sir. I really made my mind, and it gave us a lot of clarity in each and every term. And I'm sure I'll be looking forward to join you soon.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Sure, surely we'll meet and we'll start our journey in data science also. Yeah, thank you. Anyone, others, if you have any questions, please let me know.
I had a question. Like, what if I'm not good at math, but I really enjoy Python?
Yeah,
So
that's a good question.
is that going to be difficult for me to
No, because
grasp
that's all about the
machine
course.
learning?
You're going to learn maths from me. You have to spend some time.
Okay.
Okay, it's like that. Like, let's suppose you are saying that you like Python, but you don't like math. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that interested.
Yeah. So you do not to be very interested in the maths, but you should know the basic math so that you can understand the machine learning algorithm. So you don't require to implement every math. So you just need to understand the basic maths. Even if you don't like maths, it's okay, because I have the way you study maths in class 10th or 12th, that approach we are not going to use over here. In the machine learning, trust me, we are not adopting same math which you have in your curriculum. We are modifying those equations based on our requirement. You'll feel it when we will in the actual course actually. Like for an example, if I take the linear algebra, the way we have written, they have written in the books, Similar things we are not adopting in the machine learning. We are modifying those things as per our knowledge. So when you are going to be, I can give one very simple example. Let me talk about it. I'm sorry if I'll take 5 to 10 minutes extra. Let's suppose you have two customer, okay? Three customer, okay? Let's suppose C1, C2, and C3. This customer have the, let's suppose, income 14 and credit score 650. So here you can see that, let's suppose you are a Python lover. That means you are storing this value into the list. And this is another customer. Here also, let's suppose 15 and 750. Okay. And let's suppose this is another customer 6 and 350. That means you know the Python. That's simple thing. That means what, you also know the matplotlib. If anyone don't know, don't worry about it. Matplotlib you use to visualize everything. I'm going to plot, I'm going to do it here like two-dimensional plot. On the x-axis, I will write my income. On y-axis, I have my credit score. Let's suppose I'm just writing here 5, 10, 15, and 20. And here you have, let's suppose, 300, 400, 500, 700. Okay, let's go here and let's suppose 900. I can easily do one thing. In the matplot, you have that functionality. Even if you're not understanding matplot, you can think like in Excel. In Excel also, you have the option to plot. You can take it. So you can think like a coordinate. So here 14 will be here, 650 will be approximately here. Similarly, this 15 will be approximately, okay, let me correct it. This is not a correct place. So your 14 will be approximately here and 650 will be approximately here. Similarly, if I'll take the next data point, green one, or I can take the yellow one itself, 15 will be here, 750 will be approximately here. Okay. And now this is another data point from my data. This can be approximately here. 6 means it will be here and 350 will be approximately here. Okay. Let's suppose this is all the data. Now what will happen? Let's suppose this customer paid. This customer also paid in the past and this customer not paid. This is a historical customer. Tomorrow what will happen? New customer will come in the market, C4. And the C4 have the value, let's suppose 4.5. There's the income and the credit score, let's suppose 4110. So this C4, you can easily plot it somewhere here. The 4.5 will be here, 4110 will be approximately here. Okay, because I don't know what will be the label of this customer. So what I can do here, I can easily apply the simple maths. I can compute the distance between this data point. I can compute distance between this data point. I can compute distance between this data point actually. So I don't think here you need interest of maths, because using the distance computation, you can easily solve these problems. If since this data and this data is very close to each other, that means what I can say that this customer may be very similar to this one. Since this customer is paid, not paid in the past, the higher possibility that this is also not going to pay actually. So using the simple math, I'm solving this problem. Just computing the distance actually. And how to compute distance in 2 points, we studied in the class 10th. Like I can take 14 and 650. And I can take another data point, that is this one, 4.5 and 4110. So here you are just applying Euclidean distance formula and you will get very, distance will be very close to each other. Like let's suppose you're getting 0.12 because they're very close to each other. That means the distance will be very small value. Since this white point and yellow point, they are very high with the very max distance, here distance will be very large value, 1.2. And this is very large, this one, here maybe you will get something like 2.1, let's suppose. So based on the distance, this will be very closest to each other. Then based on that, this white customer, the new customer, I'm going to predict, I'm going to say no, because they are very close to this one. And that is very easy also. Like if two customers have the similar behavior, that means what? Okay, you know that like if I have the one behavior, like I'm, let's suppose I'm not paying. And when I'm not paying, when my income is low and my credit score is also low. And if you got the same customer where you see the same information, similar information, I can't say same. That means what? Just doing the simple calculation and based on that, you are going to say, okay, this customer is not going to pay. Here, you are not going to implement distance formula by yourself. That's why you have the library in the data science. You have the NumPy. In the NumPy, you have that formula is easily available for you. But you should understand the basic. That's very much important. I hope you got my point.
So it's just to understand how things work at the back end.
Yes, that's very much important. And especially for the interviews, and especially because over the period of time, you are going to be a data scientist, principal data scientist. You are going to present your solution to the stakeholder. So there you have to, you should know like how you're going to present your solution. If you don't know how it is working internally, people can ask any question to you, and then If you can't answer it, that means what? There is some problem with your solution.
Right. Thank you for explaining it so well.
No problem. Take care. Anyone? Any other question?
Oh, sir. Not really.
Great. Thank you. So if no further questions, so we can wind up the session, and then hopefully we'll meet soon and we will learn data science together, and maybe sometime we'll meet in the industry also. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. Yes.
All right, amazing. Thank you, Rahul sir, for your valuable time. This session was really, really insightful. I hope everyone has got the clarity with what data science is and what to expect exactly. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining as well. And yeah, looking forward for all of you to join the course in future as well. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.